Everybody is a key role player on this team.
We fight till the end. I'm really proud of my team.
And nails the three!
Good late afternoon, everybody, from Piraeus, Greece. It's the FIBA Women's EuroBasket, the second day of the quarterfinal action, and it's Spain taking on Czechia. You can see already in the quarterfinals, France rolling to a big win over Lithuania, and Italy edging Turkey in overtime, 76-74. Now we have the last two, of course, Belgium taking on Germany, and you can see that the winner of this game will take on the winner of Belgium and Germany. So, Shona, we are ready to see Czechia for the first time taking on a good national team with incredible tradition. And let me correct myself, the winner of this game takes on France, with Belgium-Germany winner taking on Italy and Turkey, but so that'll be Italy. This is a big game. They don't come any bigger for either of these teams.
They don't come any bigger for either of these teams. You said it. I mean, this Spanish team it's a new look Spanish team, but we'll get to them. How about this Czechia team? I mean, they've participated in every EuroBasket competition in the modern era. They won gold back in 2005. It was a long time ago. This team has a little bit of a different mentality. I'm not sure a lot of people would have predicted to them being here in this quarterfinal game and having to go up with a powerhouse like Spain. But it's going to be exciting, and anything is possible, and that's why you play this sport.
Well, for Czechia, it's a little bit of unfinished business from how they played at the last FIBA Women's EuroBasket. Really kind of tough luck missing out, advancing further in the tournament that they did, but they have won a pre-World Cup qualifiers tournament, so we know that they're going to be at the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup qualifying tournaments along with Hungary as well, and Germany, the hosts. More of those spots have been claimed already by the teams that we just mentioned, France and also Italy. But for Spain, they come into this a little bit of a crisis. They've lost to Yana Martin for the day.
Yeah, and that'll be a little bit of a story, and we'll talk about that because what a young player they have in the point guard, but she is not here tonight, so it's about these 11 women who are going to be ready. And more than half their team, this is their first experience at the senior level. I guess you don't really have anything to lose, but Spain, you can never count them out. And, head coach Miguel Mendez, he's done a great job. He has prepared these women. And if I know anything about Spain, they believe in themselves, and they can get far in this tournament.
If you're able for the national.
Never a good idea to bet against Spain, no matter what the circumstances. Right now, we're going to hear the national anthems for Czechia and Spain.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Spain.
So Petachkova shakes hands with Miguel Mendez, and we are about ready to rumble, just 3.5 minutes away from the opening tip. And it is a talking point. I mean, this when news broke that Yana Martin was in hospital dealing with abdominal pains, you know, a lot of things go through your mind. First of all, you hope that the young lady, who's one of the real stars of international basketball, gets better quickly, but you also worry about what that might do for her team. The referees for today's game: Martin Harzov from Bulgaria, the crew chief, Silvia Marziali from Italy on the left, and Peter Praksh from Hungary on the right.
And umpire 2, Peter Praksh from Hungary. Commissioner of the game,
and Czechia, let's have a look. Let's check out their starting 5. And it's Veronika Vorachkova, Eliška Hamzova, Tereza Viorlova, Emma Chekova, and Julia Reisingerova, the big center, with Zait Hamarova, Pospishilova, Andalova, Stupalova, Hanashova, Kopetska, and Poleshinska coming off the bench.
Okay, now let's hear it. Let's make some noise for Czechia.
Well, they have a great mix of young talent and also some experience as well. Reisingerova, kind of the, you know, you wouldn't have talked about her much heading into this tournament because she's been injured the last few years, averaging over 10 points a game for them. They're 5-player. They're going to need her, especially against, you know, maybe a little bit smaller Spanish team than we've seen in previous competitions.
Well, Petachkova, I thought she did a really good job at the last FIBA Women's EuroBasket, and hey, she's got her team knocking on the door of the semifinals.
Yeah, they finished 7th, and you know, right now we already know that they've qualified for the all-important World Cup qualifier tournaments, which will happen in next year's March. But that being said, you want to get back on the podium. They haven't been on the podium in a very long time.
You're talking about a team that won this title back in 2005 in Turkey. Mariana Ortiz, Alba Torrens, Maria Araujo, Elena Puello, and Alba Pham in the starting 5, with Buenavida, Echari, Ayuso, Virado, Carrera, and Ginzo coming off the bench. So we don't even see Martin's name there. Yeah. But Ortiz is certainly, her stock has gone up a lot the last few seasons.
Her stock has gone up a lot. You said it. Just under 8 points. She does it all. She's the player who can get you a triple-double. She made her senior team debut at 31, 32 years old. Her first major tournament was the qualifiers for the Olympics last year, and she played in the Olympics, and she did very well in the Olympics. She's someone they're going to really have to rely on today.
And head coach Mendoza. Of course, you've got Spanish Basketball Federation President Elisa Aguilar sitting courtside. Used to be the point guard of this national team. Could always give a few minutes. She looks like she's in shape.
She probably still could. She played obviously with Alba Torrens, and we'll talk about her because this is throwback Alba Torrens so far in this tournament, and I'm excited to see her healthy and playing at the level that she is playing with.
Yeah, Torrens has been absolutely sensational for Spain in her career since bursting onto the scene at the Beijing Games.
Yeah, in 2008. Yep, so she's obviously MVP of a EuroBasket.
Who's feeling the pressure here today in this game?
It's hard to say because of all the new young players for Spain. Do you put the pressure on them? Well, no, not really. Then again, I think Czechia, you know, they've done well already, and I really think it's anyone's game, which is going to make it exciting.
We're just so accustomed to seeing Spain reach the podium of the FIBA Women's EuroBasket that it really doesn't matter who's in uniform. You know, it's almost like a done deal. But if they win this game, they play their, shall we say, biggest rivals, France, in the semifinals.
Yeah, it will go down probably as a historic game again.
They've got to make it through this Czechia team that has raised eyebrows.
Let's play ball!
Well, hello everybody, welcome. We are underway here, the quarterfinal of the FIBA Women's EuroBasket between Spain and Czechia. Ortiz, the veteran guard. No Yanni Martin rather. Araujo gets it up and well, not a good start for Spain. Remember, they had the disappointment of not getting to the podium in 2011, and since then it's just been an amazing run. What a drive. Hanzova, whose mother used to be the point guard. In fact, when I started covering international basketball as a young man, she's going to the line.
Yeah, what a great season she had also in FIBA EuroLeague Women this year in Brno, where her mom also played as well, right? I think her jersey might be retired in that gym. That was also the famous gym from the 2010 World Cup, where Czechia fell to the U.S., and that was a great run. That was exciting.
Well, they played that one, let's see, circulating around, Ortiz. Araujo down low to Pham. Pham is big, strong, and talented. Yorlova has it, going the other way for Czechia. Jump shot. Nope. And she gets it back. Puts it up and in. So her first 2 points. And now the rebound, Rising-Garova. Varachkova drifts in, misses, gets it back. You might remember that she was not 100% at the last FIBA Women's EuroBasket. Ooh.
Coming off that trophy win with USK Praha.
Good defense. Araujo knocking it away. Araujo listed as the power forward in this team. We were talking about that. Here's Terins for three. And Ortiz fouled as she grabs the rebound.
Torrens, that 2017 FIBA EuroBasket MVP. Imagine 8 years later.
Amongst her
right now she's in
numerous MVPs.
Yeah, amongst her numerous MVPs, All-Star fives obviously at these competitions. She has Olympic medals, World Cup medals,
EuroLeague women medals,
EuroLeague women titles with different clubs. Played in Valencia this year. They made it to the FIBA Women's EuroLeague Final 6.
Ortiz to Pham. Terins has it. She's going to have to jack it up. And not the kind of shot she wants to take. It almost went in fact. Comes over, puts it up. Brings it down the floor and gets tripped up right at the end of her drive.
Hamzova just under 7 points a game. And I really think the success that she has had in Brno, playing at FIBA Women's EuroLeague level and getting significant playing time, she has a lot of responsibility, and that kind of an opportunity is leading towards, you know, a chance to, you see she's more comfortable, you see she's taking more responsibility, I would say, with her national team.
Spain looking for their first points. Bounce pass to Pham. It goes off her hands and out of bounds. I don't think there'll be any panic over there on the Spanish bench, but I think from a Czechia standpoint, they would have liked to have had a good start to the game, and certainly with a 5-0 lead. This is a promising start for them. Yorlova puts it up, gets blocked by Terins, who races the other way. Oh, good defense by Varachkova. Almost forcing turnover. That's Puello who is dribbling it. Here's Terins, takes the bump, gets it up, and puts it in. First 2 points, and that's why you want her in this team, because she's been there, done it, and just kind of needs to set the tone a little bit for this Spain team. Hamzova for three, that's the answer.
You know, she's their leading scorer right now, and it's not the first time in her career that she has been Spain's leading scorer at a FIBA competition.
Our Fam gets it down to the baseline, going up against Ryzenkarova, who's played in Spain. Now, good shot, and Ryzenkarova quickly to Barachkova, who pulls up right at the elbow, and Spain looking to shake off the rust a little bit here. They haven't played for a couple of days. Terins gets it to the baseline, nowhere to go. And foul has been called. That was a good block from Terins.
Stupalova already checking into the game, and another, an advantage I would say of this Czechia team as well. Great inbounds pass there from the 5 to Alba Torrens, as she has an easy 2-point bucket. This Czechia team, they go 12 deep every single game. There's not a lot of teams in this competition who can do that.
Yep, and they've already brought in a substitute who missed that shot, Stupalova. Terins with that kind of getting it down low. Tachkova to play the game herself. Get some instructions to Hamzova.
Substitution for Czechia, number 1, Katerina Zaidhamerova.
Fam has it knocked away by Ryzenkarova. Shows the handles. Stupalova, good defense from Fam. Fam kind of scratching the surface of her potential right now. You gotta remember, she's a young player.
Yeah, she's very young. Plays in Valencia.
Just 19.
Has progressed every single year with her club team.
Zaidhamerova in the game, by the way, number 1. Has the distinction of the shortest player in this tournament, I think. Here she is. And another block. Stupalova gets it up and misses. Offensive rebound by Ryzenkarova, and getting pretty scrappy in there. And the physicality, Ryzenkarova over to Viorelova. And another offensive rebound for Stupalova. And she's fouled by Araujo reaching in.
Well, I mean, look at the height advantage that this Czechia team has, minus obviously their point guard right now on the floor. They're tall, they're long, they're aggressive.
They're tall, except for this one.
Yeah.
Zaidhamerova. It's the pass. Stupalova gets it to Viorelova. Oh, it's the layup, but Barachkova with the rebound, and they continue to battle. And amazing, their shooting percentage is not good after that trip down the floor.
No, but Spain, I think they got lucky on that possession.
And it took just one shot from Spain, Puello, to lay it up and in. Zaidhamerova, Viorelova this time, and the reach by Ortiz forces the turnover. Spain can tie it. They can take the lead if this goes in. Now Zaidhamerova passes it up the floor to Barachkova rather, and Barachkova kind of settles the checks down.
And obviously, maybe a little bit too quick of a shot, and no one able to get back on defense because it was a long miss, and nice heads-up play there.
Zaidhamerova called for the foul on, there she is, foul on Ortiz. So I talked about her size, 1.62 meters in height, that's 5 feet 3 inches. And going out, Barachkova, Ryzenkarova, And Hamzova comes back into the game.
But I like this. I like that they go to the bench early. They give them a little bit of a break, and this is why they can play this sort of up-tempo game, crash the offensive rebounds, get out and run when you have long defensive rebounds.
Ortiz hands it off. And Carrera, who's checked into the game, misses with her first attempt. Remember, injury prevented her from playing at the Olympics last year for Spain, and that was a huge absence, literally and figuratively. Jourlova was tempted, but Czechia swinging it. Now down low, back outside. Jourlova goes off 1 foot, and now Carrera shows the handles. Gets it up to Puello. And missing.
Bilaro.
Yep.
No one's a three-point shooter.
And nice drive, Hamzova.
This Czechia team really has no fear. They're going after the basket. I would say that they're keeping a good Spanish team on their heels defensively with the way that they're attacking, with the way that they're crashing the offensive rebounds. Obviously, Spain missing some shots early that maybe they're used to making.
Let's get down to the huddle. Listen to Mendez.
Vamos a 1 vueltas, vamos a 5 y vamos a cambiar el balón de lado para ser verticales.
The rebounders, tenemos que ir a próxima.
So there's Hamzova, one of the leaders in this team, 8 points. Mariska Hamzova, we talked about her being the daughter of a Czech national team point guard. And I guess she's probably passed down some of that wisdom. It's been a rough start offensively for Spain, but they're only down by 6 points.
They're only down by 6 points. There's 3 minutes left. They're into the bonus. The next foul that's drawn. Spain, a very good free throw shooting team.
Ayuso into the game, number 6. Could play more minutes today with Martin not here.
I like this zone.
Here's Ayuso, gets blocked by Petra Holeshinska, who's checked into the game. Holeshinska has played a lot in Spain, knows all of these players, including was a teammate of some of the Zaragoza players.
Yep.
And Popsilova checks into the game. Passes it back out. Hamzova drives in and misses with that. They continue to put pressure in the backcourt. Bilaro to Carrera, and she's fouled. Pretty good comeback by Raquel Carrera to be in this team after her knee injury, which kept her out of the Olympics.
Yeah, came back, I would say midway through the season. I think she was on limited minutes with Valencia. Yeah, it was, you know, the EuroLeague team. And, you know, obviously Valencia, they won the Spanish league this year, so they'll be playing again in EuroLeague. And, you know, my picture of Carrera, do you remember when they won the FIBA Euro Cup competition?
Yep.
And that last-minute layup? Like, every time I look at her and I think of her, I think of that last. Obviously, it was a great play set up by the coach, but Carrera put her name on the map with that basket.
Yep. She definitely had a moment to remember. Title-winning shot. Popsilova. Oh, difficult pass. They're fortunate to keep it. And Kingslow comes from behind.
I think she kind of had her left arm wrapped around her, trying to tip the ball. Ginzo talking to the referee, saying, you know, I think she was in the key for more than 3 seconds, though.
Tupolova sits down.
Ginzo missed out on that 2023 edition, but she was there in 2021 for Spain.
Holoshinska misses, but Hanusheva comes in, the veteran of this team. Gosh, I remember when she was just breaking in.
Well, I love, Hamsova's been out of it for a couple of EuroBaskets, and this is what I mean.
Here's a three, got it! And look at the emotion from Hamsova.
You know, Hanasova, she obviously had some knee issues the last few years in her career, but she was one of the most athletic players I saw.
Carrera drives, misses with the reverse, but is fouled. Chekova got her on the right arm. And Hamsova showing that skill. We've seen her drive to the basket, and she can also shoot it. Carrera with the first shot, it's good. Hamsova came in shooting 33% from deep. So Carrera getting her name on the score sheet. They pass it down low. It's a layup to be made, but it was not even close. Pospisilova missing, and here is again Carrera catching it low, turning and getting fouled.
Well, I mentioned it, Spain, best way for them to get back into this game in the first quarter. They haven't been trailing by a lot. They haven't been down by a lot, but get to the free throw line because Czechia, a little bit of foul trouble early, a 3-minute mark. They were going to put Spain on the line.
So Carrera 4 points at the stripe. Zait Hamarova brings it up. Holoshinska passes down to the low block. Good footwork, and she's fouled as well. Good move from Chekova.
How about that, Chekova, 20-year-old, played in Brno this year, really improved as the season went on in EuroLeague, and will be taking her talents to the reigning EuroLeague champions, USK Praha.
Well, Brno got, as Gambrinas Brno won the title, won the EuroLeague women's title. Yes, one of Basketball Central. They kind of dropped off some.
Yeah,
it's nice to see him back on the scene. Back in the days when Jan Bobrovsky used to be the coach. Also the Czech national team coach. One of them anyway. So it's a 5-point advantage. Ayuso, a little bit of trouble with Zait Hamarova. Zait Hamarova sticking with Ayuso. Ayuso gets a little bit of space. And Holoshinska fouled. I think she sold that well. Reaching in was Buena Vida. Well, she definitely got some contact. So that's going to send Petra Holoshinska to the free throw line, one of the Czechia players who played college basketball in America for Illinois, and then ended up transferring to my alma mater, North Carolina. She misses the first. Must have jinxed her by saying that. And we also have in the game for Spain, Echari. Holoshinska makes the second. Final seconds ticking off the clock here in the first quarter. Ayuso takes it deep, and she got into a great spot but missed it.
Yeah.
And that is the end of the first quarter. So a frustrating start for Spain, not ruinous by any stretch of the imagination. Are they going to put some time on the clock? It might be 0.1 or 0.2. Just skip the quarter changeover. So it's 0.2. So the only thing they could do would be to throw it at the rim. That's not going to happen. So She's going to get to Zaithamarova, and then that's going to be it. And there's the buzzer. Well, Potachkova has her Czechs leading 18-12 over the powerhouse Spain at the end of the first quarter.
Looking for you. The lucky count of the stadium is looking to find the number one who will have the opportunity to compete at the top.
And you look at those numbers, 6 of 6 at the line for Spain, so that's good for them. Czechia have missed a few, but rebounding obviously very important in this game. Czechia have a 15-11 edge on the boards. Alba Turin's so good, so reliable over the years, and we think that she's actually kind of recaptured some of the magic that maybe had kind of dissipated or faded.
She had injuries, you know, lingering injuries the last couple of years, and you know, you want to say it slowed her down, but when you started in 2008, you know, playing with your national team, playing 12 months a year. Obviously, Alba Turin's played in some of the best European countries in the world. She's won multiple EuroLeague titles with different teams in different countries. Every time Spain has called, she has showed up if she has been healthy. And if you're comparing, you know, this competition with just last summer for her, it's night and day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the way she's moving, how aggressive she is. It's really, this is throwback Alba.
It is throwback Alba. I kind of bristled the other day when somebody suggested she was the GOAT of Spanish women's basketball, but then when you thought about it, you're like, oh, maybe she is. Hey, scan the QR code to get the Courtside 1891 app, where you can watch live streams, extended highlights, and stay up to date with the world of international basketball. There's Arte Spanu with Precas, the Greece national team coach, watching this game. I say I bristled because a certain player, Amaya Valdemaro, used to play, and I dare say she was kind of like the most inspirational player in Europe for quite a while. Here's Ryzen Garova, missing down low. Valdemaro was the MVP of EuroBasket 2000, the EuroBasket Women 2007. So Spain have had some incredible players over the years. Carrera. Spain trying to run a little offense. They get a long three attempt from Ayuso, and it bounces in, and maybe they just needed a little bit of luck, a little bit of good fortune from the basketball gods. Ryzen Garova going up against Carrera. Could be a problem.
This is really the resurgence of Ryzen Garova. You know, she was great a few years ago. She had a couple of injuries as well. And this tournament, I think, has really put her back on the map a little bit.
Carrera with the pump fake. Buenavita's pass. And nice job from Echadi. Look at that, Jorge Garbajosa. FIBA Europe president, played for Spain's men for so many years. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be Spain basketball. And once again, they got a chance to tie it now with a three. This is, you think she meant to do that? I guess in a way it's kind of a good touch.
Yeah.
If you can get it off the rim, have it bounce in. Lauro gets it to Carrera, a little turnaround. Short, swooping in for the rebound was Buenavita. Czechia suddenly a little lacking, perhaps, sense of urgency, and Echari misses the layup. The ball goes off of Holashinska. It's going to stay at this end. Potachkova might need to get a timeout. Light a fire. There's Arte Spanu and Precas. You see Aguilar in the white trousers there, just purple shirt. A plethora of personalities to talk about. including you, Shona, two-time Canadian Olympian. Here's three-point shot, no good. Holoshinska thought about getting it up to Varachkova. Then Holoshinska is going to drive in and make the layup. Good job by Holoshinska. Buenavida, oh, nice move. Varachkova just faked out there. Here's Holoshinska, she just made a layup and now she hits the three.
Great job by Holoshinska. You've made it. You said it. She's played a lot of years recently in Spain and knows this Spanish team well, knows the players well. She also knows, you know, Spain play a different kind of a game, and she's adapted to that now. And I could see her having a really, really big game against the Spanish team.
Well, speaking of big games, Carrera's getting it done. That was a great move there. Basic, fake. Here's Holoshinska showing that three-point touch at more than a meter behind the arc. She won the Copa de la Reina this season in Spain and has decided to move on, Holoshinska, to Turkey next season. Carrera having herself a game. 25-21, Czechia on top. And we're gonna get a stop here as the referees go over and check the game clock. Maybe it didn't start, or sorry, the game clock, or was it the shot clock? It was 20 seconds on the shot clock. Varachkova drives right into the lane and lays it up and in. Well, this is a performance by the Czech team befitting of a team that would make it to the quarterfinals. I mean, they are not just here making up the numbers. They're showing they're for real. Here's the three-point shot. Got it! Buenavida!
Buenavida taking advantage of some maybe extra playing time without Martin in the lineup for them today, Spain.
Hamzova. Dupalova gets it to Varachkova. Holoshinska in the corner. They're going to go back down low, and Ryzengarova, smart play. Carrera was nowhere near the center of the Czechs.
Yeah, it was a great read there by the guard, noticing that the big switched onto her, and Ryzengarova is going to have the small on her. Perfect pass, kept the ball high.
Hamzova just knocks it away. Out on the break, and she's going to go all the way. And maybe a little fortunate to keep it as the Czechs hustle down the floor.
This Czechia team are playing with a lot higher pace than we've seen them in the last previous EuroBaskets, in my opinion. And I think a lot of that is they play 12 people deep.
Buenavida, you mentioned it needs to step up with Martin out.
Yeah, you know, just Martin being out, you're losing about 10 points a game. Someone else is going to have to make up those points. That being said, this Spanish team, a lot of them score. They score almost 81 points a game in their first 3 games. So they're very capable of scoring. But I love the way that this Czechia team, and I think the height is affecting some of those Spanish drives. Trying to get to the basket, they're having to shoot over taller players.
One thing you got to bear in mind is Horzov calls a foul is that so many of these Spanish players have been on youth national teams that have reached the podium. A lot of experience, playing for big-time clubs, getting a lot of great experience in Spain. But this is a test for many of them. It's a young team. Hamzova for 3. Got it! Well.
What a game Hamzova is having to start this first half.
Well, she has just gone up to 13 points? No, 11 points. 13 points she has now.
Just under 8 points a game in her previous 3 games.
Oh, how about that? Carrera, we saw her try that shot. Little turnaround. Obviously, she's been practicing that one. That's almost unstoppable. And here is another foul a long way from the basketball on Spain. Puello getting tangled up with Rice, and Garova is going to go out to catch her breath. And the youngster, Chekova, is checking in for Czechia.
Chekova is checking in for Czechia.
Chekova is checking in for Czechia. Say that 10 times. What you're used to seeing from Spain over the years is they really like to get out and run. And we haven't really seen that, have we? Here is the dunk down low. Good D from Ortiz. Torrens comes up with it. Of course, nobody likes to run like Alba Torrens. Maybe she's not running quite as much now as she used to. Here's Ortiz. You know, back in the day with Palau, with Jargai, with even going back to Valdemar. Cruz, yeah, those Spain teams had you running, they would run you ragged.
Yeah, they really would. Sancho Little get down the 4 in 3 seconds and under.
Oh, Fam loses it out of bounds. And just got to be patient with the youngster, the 19-year-old. Here she is. She's making the move and just sometimes it's not there as well. You got to pass it back out. The double was coming.
We'll see Gustafsson. Megan Gustafsson was on that team last summer at the.
Andalova now into the game. She's got it. Had a good EuroBasket women last time. Varachkova for 3. Ball goes out of bounds. Patachkova, what must be going through her mind? She's very soft-spoken, isn't she?
Very.
Kind of keeps her cards close to her chest.
Yeah, you don't see her yell a lot, even if she's frustrated with her players or the referees or how the game went.
I mean, their exit last time was brutal, and she just maintained her poise and composure.
Yep, even in the press conference, she was clearly disappointed.
That they lost to Hungary. Just kind of a difficult finish to that game. Here's Stupilova checks up to the line, or steps up to the line, and makes the first. 9
offensive rebounds already for Czechia.
Got to give that fan some credit. I mean, he has followed this team forever. Pretty sure he doesn't have any other clothes because he's always wearing that. Great first half for Czechia. Under 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Andalova guarding Ortiz. Kind of would like to see Ortiz perhaps impose herself a little bit more. Look at that, the double team forcing the turnover. Buena Vida. And, well, we talked about not having Martin here today, and we were thinking that, okay, Spain maybe play a game that doesn't necessarily overly depend on a point guard, but I don't know, you're seeing maybe some possession issues, some turnover issues plaguing the team.
Yeah, no, but I still think they have other point guards who can come in and take over for what Martine did.
I mean, she was playing about 17 minutes a game.
Yeah, it wasn't,
so
you know, she wasn't playing 35 minutes. No, not
Yeah.
at all. You have Ortiz there. She's, you know, yeah, she doesn't have a lot of senior team experience, but she has an incredible amount of basketball experience. And, you know, the issue is that, you know, the point guards coming in for Martin, well, she's not here, Buena Vida, Ayuso, they're young. They're young as well, and they're playing in their first senior competition. They're gonna improve as the tournament goes on, and also as the years go on.
Spain with 8 turnovers right now. Here's Stupilova in the lane. And some of those turnovers are not from the guard spot. I mean, we've seen Alba Pham turn it over as well, so. foul on the perimeter. This thing could not be going any better right now for that woman and her team. As the Czechs threatening to crash the semifinal party. Look at this, Stupalova. Look how much space she's got. Ayuso had the hand up. So timeout with 3:06 remaining by Mendez in Spain.
Vamos a apretar y vamos a ir agresivos. Entre 3 y 4 que cambiamos, pero no cambiéis 1-5 constantemente. Lateral, el ice lo marca el pivo. Si el pivo se ha puesto, vamos a ice, pero no alero. Hemos marcado ice y no está el pivo puesto todavía. Vamos al show arriba, coged el rol, lado de 2 entonces.
No perdamos la calma.
Hay que seguir, hay que seguir, hay que seguir.
Vamos a especial en esta, ¿vale? Llegar con 2 botes antes del mano a mano y el pivo seguir el culo en el flair para jugar a basket, ¿vale?
Well, you look back at this highlight with Turin's. She started well enough. Started well enough. But it's been all Czechia. 35-26 here in the second quarter. Turin turns it over, trying to get it to a wide open teammate. Achari. And that just piles on the pressure. I mean, Spain's defense needs to be good. They need to really start, you think, creating some opportunities here, maybe some transition buckets. Here's the help. They're picking up the intensity on defense. Eurolova. Chekova drives in. Oh, a fortuitous bounce goes to Stupalova. 11 points to lead. And Ortiz with a spinning, twisting shot in the lane. No good.
11-point lead. This is the first time Spain have really been challenged like this.
Chekova, oh. Had to drive and threw it right into the hands of Spain. Now this is where Turin likes to be, in the open floor, and she is fouled. Czechs with fouls to give, so. Pospisilova, rather, excuse me, is out. Ratskova and Polishinska come back into the game. 2:01 to go. Carrera. Ortiz to Carrera. Gets it to Pham. And I think what we're seeing here with Pham is the hands aren't great right now for her. And what a break for the Czech Republic. They did not wait around. 39-26, and I was kind of saying it kind of jokingly, but it's true. The Czechs are playing Spanish basketball more than Spain.
Yeah,
the way they're getting out
and running, offensive rebounding, they're taking risks, they're switching a lot on defense, but they're long and can get there.
Turin's off the back of the iron. Raskova with the board. And you know the self-belief growing in this Czech team. Andalova drives in, gets blocked. And here is the foul in the backcourt. Spain, a couple of players suggesting it's an unsportsmanlike. This is Andalova getting blocked by Ortiz. One of the advantages of having her on the court, she's got good length.
Yeah.
You know, and the Czech team, again, they've already clinched a spot in the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup
last
qualifying
summer.
tournament by
Last
winning
summer
the
they
pre-qualifying
participated.
tournament. They want to get a medal.
They want to get a medal, and
They
I
want to get to
really
the
think
podium.
they believe that they can get a medal. Don't forget, this Czechia team, they took, they stressed out Belgium. Belgium, they're the reigning champs.
Look at the defense from Hamšová. And the foul called on her, coming from behind.
They ended up falling by 12 to Belgium, and Belgium has their full roster. They didn't know heading into this tournament if they were going to have their full roster. They do have their full roster, and I think a lot of people have picked Belgium to go ahead and win this tournament as soon as they announced who was on their roster. And Czechia, it wasn't. They ended up winning by 12, Belgium.
Would you agree with me with Pham that she's gonna get a lot better?
Oh, yeah.
But right now her hands aren't great.
Yeah, and she has a lot of responsibility. She's been giving a lot of responsibility. She gets to start for this team. She's absolutely going to improve. She's only 19. You've seen her improve the last 3 years that she has been with Valencia as well.
Holešinska in the final minute. She reads it. She gets the layup. She drives. She's fouled and one for Petra Holešinska. Got the shot up quickly before she got to Araujo, sensing the block attempt might come, and not a whole lot of contact there, but she goes down, gets the call, and makes the free throw and one. And the Czechs leading 42-28 here in the final minute. Carrera, this is much better. Carrera, beautiful finish from Ayuso. Now will the Czechs hold it for one shot? Or can Spain perhaps pressure them into a turnover? Andalova, Hamšová has it. Gives it to Holešinska. She sees the shot clock, she gets it up and doesn't bounce in, but she is fouled by Carrera. Unbelievable.
Big mistake there, fouling the three-point shooter. 3 seconds left on the clock. And, well, let's take a look. Got her shot off.
Yeah, absolutely. Landed on her right foot.
Yeah.
You want to get a hand up in the face, but you simply cannot afford to make that play. And Holešinska goes to the line and makes the first. She's having herself a game. Coming off the bench.
And again, I think this Spanish team, Carrera, she's 23 years old. She's played in a EuroBasket before. Missed out on Olympics. I think she would have been on that team last summer. But they're still too experienced, in my opinion, to make these kind of mistakes.
Holešinska makes 2 out of the 3. And the shot goes up. And her former teammate at Zaragoza, Ortiz's former teammate, Holešinska, goes to help her up. She was looking for a foul. They're talking about it. And they have indeed called a foul and 3 free throws. How about that?
A
See
shooting
the replay
foul
on that. So they go quickly. Oh, Hamšová.
Oh, just the reach in.
It was
on
Andalova with the
Andalova?
reach. Was that behind the arc? I guess it was. I think they said 3 free throws, so nice finish here for Spain if they can get to the line. And
everyone's a little bit confused. So, okay, so they're going to go take
a look to see if it's a 3 or a 2. Well, credit Spain, they pushed it quickly. And there's 0.3 seconds left. Let's listen.
Review if the contact is before the expire of the time. Can we go? So go backwards.
So which point of contact did you call?
Go. This one. Okay.
Okay, so we go with 0.3 then.
Yeah. 0.3.
Okay. After review,
After the review, we are resetting the clock to 0.3. 3 shots of number 6 white. Let's go. Three shots. 0.3.
So Yuso will go to the line for 3 free throws. I want to check to see if the foul was committed before time ran out, and indeed it was. So a chance here for Spain. Yuso takes her time and makes the first. She's got a lot of ball on that reach, but anytime you reach, referee's thinking, is that a foul? She's got a nice touch. Yuso.
Yeah, good free throw shooter, 86% in this tournament.
This gives them a little bit of momentum going to the locker room.
You know, I think there's a big difference going down mid-double digits to really cutting it almost to within 10.
Spain, still a lot of work to do. Czechia come out. It's 44-33. Czechia on top of Spain at halftime.
Well, there are the statistics. Czechia doing a good job. Both teams getting to the free throw line. Spain 100% compared to just 9 of 13. But a good job. Again, look at those rebounds, though. 22 rebounds for Czechia. And the majority of those, well, I say majority, they have a lot of opportunity to offensive rebound, which I'm surprised. You know, I'm surprised that Spain hasn't really figured it out. They've given up 9 offensive rebounds, Spain has, and it's given opportunities for Czechia to score. They're the key players. Ortiz, a little bit slow tonight, hasn't scored yet. And, well, 4 points. Definitely not the key players so far in this first half because a lot of other people have stepped up. I think Hamzova has been absolutely great. She's attacking, she's getting out and running, she's having confidence with her outside shot, and it's paying off for this Czechia team.
Yeah, and their bench has been excellent with Polishenska coming out and contributing double digits, 11 points. Hamzova with 13. But 40-minute game. Adjustments have to be made.
Yeah, adjustments are going to be made. Both of these coaches are very experienced in the women's international game. And I think I can see Spain making some big adjustments. I absolutely know that Coach Mendez is not happy with the team, what his team has done as far as boxing out has gone, and maybe some, I don't want to say questionable shots because they're shooters and they're going to shoot, but maybe a little bit too early, and they haven't done a good job getting back on defense because Czechia, they're getting out and running. If you put up a bad shot that leads to a long rebound, watch out, they're going to score on the other end and score quickly.
And it is a young-ish Spain team, so you know this is probably they've had to battle in this tournament. It hasn't been easy. No,
it hasn't been easy. You know,
went to overtime against Sweden, even
they went to overtime against Sweden. Their other games were a little bit easier. But yeah, you know, 15-point win over Great Britain. They had a 19-point win over Germany, and then that Sweden game where Sweden kind of desperately had to win by 8 to guarantee themselves going through. They forced overtime instead and weren't able to come up with the win and sneaked out a little, well, 3-point win over Sweden.
This isn't a moment. It's a time unlike any before.
It's not a request, not a maybe, not a someday.
This is now. Feel our presence, built on strength and drive.
Not rising, we are arriving. Not hoping, but owning.
This isn't a moment, it's movement. Constant, relentless.
Every cut, every pass, every shot.
Earned.
Taken.
Undeniable. The future, it's already here.
Forged in sweat,
ruled by queens.
When we move, the whole game shifts.
And we're unstoppable in all directions. We own the game.
Linskin's able to capture it. Great set of passes. Messermann able to finish it off.
That's when they're beautiful to watch. When the ball doesn't stick, they always get good options.
Peterson, what a dive, finds Geisel, so she finishes. What a 1-2 play combo.
Oh, that's pretty, Josh.
Linskin's to Sollenbacher. The only bench player on the floor. She makes a move and she gets it to go.
Our fam on the Sela. Ortiz down the middle. Simply buenas noches. What a layup by Mariona Ortiz.
She'll go back to work though, reject it. Yotsita read it well. Goes coast to coast off the glass. Yusta Yotsita.
What a shot. You don't see the younger generation using the backboard that much anymore.
Hamzova, great work. Vorachkova through the spin cycle.
Well, you said talk about momentum.
Zandalasini wants to go coast to coast. Spin move! Cecilia Zandalasini.
Penetration by Henderson. Great Britain, I believe 1 for 9 for 10 to the perimeter at the moment. But again, Puello goes quickly. And I think Great Britain's transition defense needs a little bit more motivation because they're giving up way too much.
Lovely touchdown pass from Ortiz, full court.
Van Loo trying to find a way through. Oh my God! Emma Messermann's on the board.
It's a super pass. I was looking the other way. She faked me from here.
Sensational. It is a pleasure to watch.
Almost a layup off that. And look at that. Shecker gets fouled, puts it up and in. And her veteran leadership is really coming to the fore. Look at that. Bernice did a great job recovering, but then just because of the reach
at the end, yeah.
Whether she got her or not, oftentimes you see the reach just leads to the foul.
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own countries, but also in the international basketball world.
Well, it's halftime, and what a half by Czechia. And that player right there, Hamzova, doing it all for her team. She was coming into this game averaging just under 8 points a game, already has 13 points if we get to see some of her highlights. And really, it's just the way she's been doing it. She's been getting out and running. She's scoring in fast break, and also zero hesitation there. Look how deep that three-point shot is. 2 meters behind the line against one of the EuroBasket legends guarding her. And, well, zero hesitation, and I love the way that this Czechia team are playing. Absolutely no fear. They are playing like a team which has nothing to lose, and that is why they are up 44 points. It's actually the last time Spain gave up 44 points in a half. It was back in 2007 when Russia also scored 44 points against them. And there you see how she's doing it, a little bit of everything. Spain, on the other hand, great job by their post player from Valencia, Carrera, as well. 12 points, can't do much better than that. And most of those coming from the free throw line. Look at this fancy footwork. Baseline, a little bit of a fadeaway. That's a little bit of a Dirk Nowitzki move right there. Well, it's difficult to defend that. And really, in my opinion, who's going to step up defensively and slow down some of these other Czechia players? And I talked about it during the first half. They go deep. They play all 12 players every single game. And they have quick rotations. They go in, they play 3 minutes, they come out, and they're ready to go. And I really love that. And you see the intensity. Normally, Spain are more known for getting out and running as well. I mentioned it, 10 of Carrera's points are from the free throw line, so she just has that one made fadeaway as Czechia coming back out onto the court with a little bit of smiles they have showing. Right now, obviously they should be happy. They are up 11, 33-44 against Spain. And I mentioned it, Spain have never given up this many points except for one other time, and that was back in 2007. And Torrens wasn't playing back then. She made that leap in 2008, and that was against Russia, and they gave up 44 points. Well, I don't want to jinx them, but Czechia are undefeated in their 22 games at the women's EuroBasket when leading by double-digit margin at halftime. And I can tell you this, knowing Spanish basketball very well, this Spanish team is not going to give up. They're going to come out, they're going to correct their mistakes, and I think a lot of it was giving up those 9 offensive rebounds to Czechia in the first half, which is very unusual for a Spanish team, I have to say. And out of those second chance rebound opportunities, Czechia have scored 7 compared to 0 points for Spain. So it obviously has to be an area I think that Coach Mendez and his players need to focus on. You can't give 7 easy points to a Czechia team. We're also getting out and running. Points off of turnovers, they have 14 compared to just 0. Normally when we follow Spanish teams, that's sort of the opposite that happens. Spain come up with steals and they get out and run. And really the way that they play is kind of how Czechia are playing against them right now. And you know, we didn't cover this Czechia team who played their first group phase at home in Brno, but this is a very, very exciting team. And the way they're playing right now, I think this is a medal contending team.
So 20 minutes remain, maybe 25, you never know. I mean, we've already seen Spain play in 1 overtime, and gosh, I thought they were going to have a double overtime game when they were taking on Sweden, but they were able to win it after 1 overtime. Eliška Hanzová has, as expected, been good. And you know, I thought one of the players in the press conference after yesterday's quarterfinals made a really good point. It was Italy, it was Costanza Verona after the win over Turkey. And you know, she talked about how you have to learn, you have to lose before you can win at these events. And you know, Italy had some tough moments over the years. And we saw them come out and beat a really good Turkey team yesterday after overtime. And you just have to think that maybe this Czechia team, despite the disappointment of 2 years ago, maybe that's kind of been a driving force for them this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, if anything, I do think the Spanish team have proven already a lot of people wrong. This is a young team. I said it, they have more than half of their players are playing at for the first time at a FIBA EuroBasket. And there you see the top scorer, Carrera, 12 points, had that knee injury last summer, so was not able to participate in the Olympics in Paris. with her Spanish team. And let's not forget, Spain have had a lot of retirements recently as well. This is a new generation. This is a new generation that we're going to be talking about for a very long time. And Spain has always produced some excellent point guards. And some of these players right now are already showing how skilled, how talented they are. And win or lose, I think this game is going to be a learning experience for them.
So scan in the QR code to get the FIBA Women's EuroBasket app in your smartphone. Keep up to date with this tournament.
You mentioned it, Czechia, maybe their last EuroBasket finish, that second place finish, they also had a heartbreak at the buzzer in that EuroBasket, and maybe that has, you know, ignited a little bit of something. A lot of those players were on that team, and they remember it. And well, you got to win before you lose. I think that's a great expression.
And we're ready to start the second half with a big round of applause. Let's make some noise!
Second half action is underway. Spain, who got the 3 free throws right at the end of the first half, start with possession. Here's Carrera, and she turns around and hits a soft little turnaround jump shot. Second time she's made that today. Now bear in mind, Spain 13 of 13 at the free throw line. Free throws will no doubt play a big part in this game. Anzova, little runner, and puts it up and in.
Spacious, unselfish, aggressive defense on that on ball there by Spain, and rotation just a little bit slow defensively for them.
Torrens from deep. Nice! Torrens again, old Alba.
I want to say throwback Alba. We don't have to say old Alba. Throwback Alba.
Yeah, throwback's probably better.
2017 MVP of the FIBA Women's EuroBasket competition.
That was our first tournament together.
It was.
What a thrill that was for me. Here's
in Czechia.
Czechia, yeah, that's right. He's got to get it up quickly. And a little runner, it doesn't go, but she gets the rebound, and Vorachkova misses, but another rebound, and the foul puts them on the line. Well, I'm not sure that's how they draw up this offensive set, but Czechia will take it.
Offensive rebounds, though, Jeff. I mean, you know, that had to have been a clear point at halftime for Coach Mendes.
Vorachkova missing from the stripe. Crucial for Spain, you would think, to get off to a good start here in the second half. And while they did score with Torrens, they showed some still fallibility on the glass, the defensive boards. Like she took an extra step, Torrens, possibly.
0 step.
Ortiz. Carrera. Ortiz needs to get it going. She gets it up. She goes off 1 foot. Call to arms. And sure enough, Ortiz does get her first bucket. Lead down to 8. Hodoshinska gets it down low. Good passing by the Czechs.
Dropping into that zone here.
They get it.
Spain.
Czechova puts it up and in. Well, they know exactly how they want to attack it.
They do, and I love the patience by this Czechia team right now. They're not forcing anything, trying to find the best shot possible, and they're efficient when they get the ball inside.
There's a drive, and Torrens showing that leadership.
8 points for her already.
Vorachkova, nice move. Oh, she threw her left elbow, her forearm. Good job, Ayuso. Watch this. She's kind of shoved off.
Easy call by the referee. I'm not sure she was shoved that much, but Torrens there with the take. Already 5 points in this quarter for her. As if anyone's going to take over the scoring brunt, you would think it's going to be Carrera and Torrens heading into the second half for Spain.
They switch. Ayuso. Three-point shot. Oh my. Echata! And Potachkova decides to call timeout, and we're seeing that familiar look of determination. That vamos look from Spain.
Well, she didn't have to use a lot of timeouts in the first half as her team played so well, but right now, 6-point deficit. Spain already have scored 11 points in the first 3 minutes.
And that was the first three-pointer of the tournament made by Chari, the first one
points.
attempted. First points
as well, right? Yeah. Great start by Spain, people stepping up. You mentioned it, hasn't attempted a shot, hasn't scored a shot. And Chari already with 5 points in this game. So taking advantage of this start here in the third quarter. And Spain already back into that kind of matchup 2-3 zone that they've come out playing here in the second half.
This becomes now more, for me, a battle of the, well, look at the tactics, the determination, the battle of the mental side of things, because now the Czechs are being pushed. And first of all, great decision by Potachkova to call the timeout, and great execution to get that first bucket. And the foul out on the perimeter. Look at this. Czechkova's just been outstanding. What a future she's got.
Only 20 years old, played in Brno the last couple seasons.
And foul called. Yep, and Rising Horova. First one is good for Torrens.
6-point game, can cut it down to a 2-possession game with this make.
This is the second, and first miss of the day at the line for Spain. Look at Potachkova push it quickly, and they're going to get a layup with Hamzova, and she's fouled. Like a bullet out of a gun, the Czechs are running.
They really are off of a missed free throw attempt. Torrens maybe taking a little bit too much of a risk in the backcourt defensively, and just a nice heads-up play. Has to come over and help as Ortiz. And Hamzova running the floor. Chova did a good job of sealing out her man as well. And a 3-point opportunity for Hamzova. Gonna go have to find her her best outing in a Czechia jersey, because Hamzova has to be getting close already with 18 points.
She is worth the price of admission today. Foul down low.
Well, sorry, actually, correction. When she was at 15 points, so before that and one bucket, it was her highest scoring outing at a women's EuroBasket. So she has a personal best.
And growing.
16 minutes left to play.
Well, I'm sure she'll get the attention of Spain, but right now, Czechia showing some mental toughness. Here's Torrens getting into the paint. Nice handoff to Carrera. The Valencia basket 1-2 connection. Now the other way, the turnover. Oh, beautiful behind the back pass, but Ortiz misses the layup. Polashinska back in the game, and she's going to drive in and get blocked by Echari, who's become sort of an X factor in this game. Beautiful bounce pass, Carrera. That's more like it for Spain.
Yeah, this is Spanish basketball. Try and get on a run, come up with steals, push the tempo. This is how they want to play.
Their turnaround, no good. Torrens with the rebound. It's almost as if Spain says, okay, you want to play fast, we'll play fast. And it has ignited their own attack. Here's Torrens. She pulls up at the stripe. And the offensive rebound. And the foul called will send Echari to the line.
And Echari with the big defensive block, as we saw there, which led to this easy basket for Carrera. And what a game Echari is having. We mentioned it, has not scored for Spain in this EuroBasket yet, but taking advantage of the minutes she is playing. She only played one game. Sorry, she only played one game for them in the group phase. Not sure if she was injured or sick, but, well, and that's going to be the fourth foul. Stupilova going out. But like I said, all game long, Czechia have a bench and they can go to their bench. They have rotation players.
Spain have definitely won this third quarter. They closed the gap to just 3 points. They were down by 11 at halftime.
Outscored Czechia 17-10, and we still have 5 minutes left.
Amcheva picks it up, handoff. Czechia puts it up. Got a good shot.
Thank you. Let's go.
I think Spain fans probably feeling a little bit better right now, having watched this comeback. Still got some work to do, and they survived that attempt. Now, Ayuso, who hit the big three in the first half, and also the 3 free throws, has it. Spain can tie it with a 3. Torrens drives in, bounce pass, Ortiz on the baseline. The box out there, not enough by Pospisilova. She's got to keep Carrera away from the ball, which she did not. Czechia already over the limit, sending Spain and a very good free throw shooter back to the line.
10 of 10
Fourth
in
foul
the
on
first half.
Pospisilova as well.
So Czechia, a little bit of foul trouble right now. They have 2 players with 4 fouls and 1 with 3. You said it, already 4.5 minutes left, and Czechia, Spain are going to be in the bonus the rest of this quarter compared to just 2 fouls for Spain.
Well, she's just been magnificent at the free throw line. Carrera, look at that. Also showing her points. She has been good. There is Vrachkova missing it from the line. Spain, they can take the lead with a bucket. Ayuso gets it to the baseline. Torrens behind the arc, high arcing shot, and Spain have taken the lead. Confidence, experience, it's all in that DNA, and we're seeing it right now in this third quarter. What a catch and shot from Rising Gorova. Puts Czechia.
Again, nice patience by Czechia. I think they're getting the looks that they want on offense, but right now the question is defensively, how are they going to slow down and take away some shots by this Spanish team? 23 points already in the quarter.
Ayuso puts it up and misses everything, and she was hoping the whistle would blow for a foul, but it does not. Look at Torrens. Looks down, make sure her feet are behind the arc. And they just called a technical foul on Spain.
On Spain?
On Mendez. Wow. Is he upset because they didn't call a foul in the 3 attempt?
Yeah, he was saying that you know where you protect the shooters now in that plane. You can't get underneath the shooter.
Well, EuroBasket goes to the line and misses the free throw. So the only thing is Mendez has to be careful he doesn't pick up another one, because we have seen already in one quarterfinal the coach of Lithuania sent to an early shower.
Early, very early in the 3rd quarter, actually.
Although it wasn't a close game. Lithuania fell hard in that game to France. Rising Garova has it. Oh, turns, goes to work, goes up, forces it, and she is fouled by Carrera. And Carrera says, I'm just standing there with my hands up.
Foul from Spain from number 40,
Tatchkova. What's going on in her mind? Watch this. I mean, I think
right?
Yeah, I think it's a good call. She's
Kinda
reaching
draping,
in.
Yeah, well, she reached in on the first dribble, which maybe they could have called a foul before the shot as well. And then, you know, Rising Grove, yeah, she sort of threw the ball up, but I think she did that because Carrera was hugging her from behind. I don't think Spain can really complain. They've only committed 3 fouls compared to a lot by Czechia in this quarter.
And Rising Garova makes both free throws. She's a little more polished version in that low post scoring wise for Czechia when she's in the game.
And when she's healthy.
Ortiz. And Ortiz foul, no travels. 58-56. Mariana Ortiz clearly unhappy with that call.
And in the first half, Czechia did a good job scoring off of the turnovers by Spain.
Holešinska open, it looks good, it is! The three-pointer from Holešinska. What a performance by number 13 off the bench today.
I mentioned it, she's spent a few years now in Spain playing against these players and this style of basketball, so she knows exactly what they're gonna do.
And probably means a little bit more for her.
She wants to beat Spain.
Forcing a timeout for Mendez.
Acompañar el corte y quedarnos en ya, ¿de acuerdo? En el top pick and roll seguimos siendo agresivos. Estad atentas a cogerla en el lado de 2, ¿de acuerdo? Cuando hay una penetración nuestra, no podemos quedarnos fuera. Tenemos que ir a buscar ese pase, abrir esas líneas de pase, ¿vale? Cuando hay un balón interior, la última que volvemos a insistir con Mariona de espaldas, en la última salida ahí, el tirado un corte, con Mariona ahí, tirado cortes hacia este lado, ¿vale? Seguimos insistiendo, hay alguna más, ¿vale?
¡Ey, no os defendáis de la defensa! ¡Seguid atacando!
Tapad las tiradoras los primeros 3-4 segundos de nuestra defensa en zona, ¿vale?
2-3.
Well, there you saw the shooting in this quarter. Spain just doing it everywhere, really. 3-point range, getting out and running. They have a lot more fast break points than they had in the first half. They scored 23 points already, and we still have 2 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Carrera's energy tracking. You see she's played the majority of the third quarter here. And after coming off the bench.
Yep, went on the court, went on the bench. There's a big difference.
And you know, you remember how they played at the Olympics, and you wonder if they had Carrera, might that team have gone further in the competition? Here she is. Obviously, all teams deal with injuries. Here she is again. She's got 22. And she gets to 2. Now has a foul been called? Holešinska called for the foul on the play, so Carrera is going to the line. Watch this. And she's Carrera 22 points. She only had 7 against Sweden, but obviously this is a much different game with 61-59.
12 of 12 from the free throw line for Carrera.
Roll over to Holešinska. She's open. It looks good. It is! She is on fire! goodness gracious.
Exact same spot. You said maybe a win over Spain is a little bit more personal for Holešinska.
She's got 17 points.
She's showing it today. She's showing that how badly she wants to win, that's for sure.
And an offensive foul battling underneath called on Terens. Or is it on Carrera?
I think it's on Terens, no? Alba. Yeah, her first personal foul. And there's that three-point shot, exact same spot.
So it was indeed on Terens, as we said initially.
Well, they already have 12 turnovers
Holešinska
today.
gets in, she puts it up off the glass.
What do? She's already made 2 3-pointers in the last minute and a half. You've got to get out and defend her, Carrera. It's a mismatch.
And now an offensive foul on, is it Ortiz? Leading with the forearm, or is it Fam? Czechia have gone back up by 7 points. And Holešinska is now leading her team in scoring. It's on Fam, who turned into moving screen, I guess.
Yeah.
Holešinska, she's feeling it. They bring the double this time. Somebody's got to be open. Stupilova, she's got the foul trouble. She drives, and Terens with the rebound. She likes to rebound and run, and she does. Fiorlova trying to stick with her. Buenavida comes in, and now Fiorlova steals the basketball, gets it to Hamzova, who gets it over to Holešinska. And after really being on the back foot for much of this third quarter, the Czechs up by 7. Fiorlova puts it up, and Fam comes in for the rebound, but has it stolen. Or maybe she just fumbled it away.
Oh, I think she fell.
Hamzova goes right at the basket. She goes down. Now quickly Terens races the other way. Not going to wait for the shot clock this time because she saw an opportunity to score, but it does give Czechia potentially the last possession. Ortiz sneaking up there trying to get the steal. I think Hamzova was maybe playing more for the foul in that last possession and wasn't the best shot, but Holešinska with a little heat check. And with 1.5 seconds left, there's still time potentially for Spain to get a shot up.
I like that shot attempt by Holešinska. Why not? She's already made 2 this quarter. She has 18 points, 19, excuse me. And go ahead, shoot it. There's not a lot of time left on the clock. 1.5, let them catch it in the backcourt. Just have hands up, no silly fouls.
Well, she gets the ball up, Terens, but it was short. And well, Miguel Mendez's team still outscored Czechia by 6 points in that quarter. But Czechia lead at 66-61, 10 minutes remaining.
Well, you said it, they outscored them, but they're still up 5. They outscored them 28-22. Look at that, 19 of 20 compared to just 13 of 19. We've seen teams lose because of free throw shooting already in this tournament, and you hope that's not the case. I think with the way that Spain came out and played the first 5 minutes, I would say, of the third quarter, Czechia have to feel relieved that they are heading into the final quarter up 5. And, you know, Spain, good job getting out defending. They had a little bit of a different defense. They went into a 2-3 zone, but it was sort of a matchup, and they ended up going man-to-man late in the possession. And I think the first 5 minutes, it really confused Czechia. They didn't know how to score against it. And then they started to get into a flow. Shooters started shooting. They started attacking. But this was the kind of Spanish team that we're used to seeing. Rebounding, turnovers, getting out and running, pushing the tempo, and it's exactly what they did to claw back into this game. Don't forget, they were down 11 at halftime, and we're not used to seeing Spain down at all.
Well, Petra Holešinska has just been giving us A-star quality today. But 10 minutes remaining. And Carrera, don't forget, has been a real superstar herself. Courtside 1891, scan in the QR code and get it in your smartphone so you can watch live streams, extended highlights, and stay up to date with the world of international basketball. Get the same feeling that we had yesterday or last night with Turkey and Italy. Is going to be very sad to see one of these teams go out, because they have been playing some really good basketball today. Certainly Spain have in the second half, maybe not as much in the first. And Hamzova going to drive in, takes a tough shot, rattles out. She's able to, ball batted out of bounds by Spain. They might use a challenge here, no. Well, I give Mendez credit for whatever he said at halftime to ignite Spain, but also give Patachkova credit for her team reacting. And it was starting to look decidedly dodgy for the Czechs.
Yeah, I think, a Czech team in the past, a run like that, I think really could have deflated them, but they were able to turn it around.
Patachkova turns it over cheaply, trying to get it to Hamzova. And this time, foul on the floor before the shot. You just cannot afford to turn the basketball over cheaply like the Czechs did there.
And we know the winner of this game are going to play France in the semifinals on Friday.
Look at that drive! Ayuso getting to the bucket. Wanted the foul as well.
10 points tonight already for Ayuso. Making up for those missed points from Martin.
Oh, look at that. Getting it down low. The foul called, though, before the shot. And, well, France taking in the action. They're going to play the winner of this game. They don't look too stressed to me.
I mean, with the way that they've been playing, are you surprised that they're not that stressed?
Well, they definitely have survived one test against Turkey, and Lithuania, of course, coming off that tough defeat yesterday. Also here watching because they will end up facing one of these teams. Barashkova from deep. And great rebound. Chakova, but misses the putback. And then she's called for the push.
You know, she missed an easy putback layup there, and that's never what you want to see by your post players. It was an obvious foul. Just get back. You missed the shot. Yeah, you're a little bit frustrated. We've seen Czechia get into foul trouble against Spain early in the quarters, and you don't want to put the Spanish team on the free throw line. They're shooting almost 98%.
Terence drives in, misses the layup. And Genzo comes in from behind and knocks it out of bounds. Oh, great defense from Terence. What a play. It's going to lead to a layup for Spain. Unbelievable play by Terence, and she certainly has become throwback Alba.
Throwback Alba. This is MVP form Alba.
Wow. A couple of costly turnovers here for Czechia. And driving right in, but missing the shot, Chekova. And now Spain can go back in front. Ayuso into the paint. How'd she score that? That was some quality right there. Look at her. Vamos, she says. Let's go.
And you know, for me, the difference there.
Nice English.
The difference between Spain in the first half and Spain in the second half is they're getting out and running. They slowed the game down. That's not how they play. They're better when they get out and run. They're better when they attack. They're coming up with steals. They're doing it defensively. And this is what we're used to.
Well, 7 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Spain 3 of 4 from the floor in this quarter. Look at the Czechs. 0 of 4 and a couple of turnovers.
And you know, let's not forget at halftime, Spain had 0 points off of turnovers, where normally, you know, that's a category that they're usually beat teams in. They have 7 points now. Fast break though, 14 points. And I would say at least 8 to 10 of those points have come in the second half as well for Spain.
Well, it's in games like this where you see what your players are made of, and some real standout performances for Spain. Look at that, their 8-2 run in the last 3, 42. Well, we've seen Czechia have a good reaction coming out of timeouts. They need one here. Weisengarova back in the game. Holishinska has it. Holishinska gets into the paint, bounce pass Weisengarova. Boy, that is execution to perfection.
Execution out of a timeout is exactly what you want to see if you're a coach.
Well, Spain, Ayuso nowhere to go.
Oh, wow.
But gets the foul called and will presumably go to the free throw line.
Not sure about that foul. She really just ran into 3 players, and here is the execution out of the timeout and an easy 2-point bucket for Czechia. And then, well, Weisengarova, it's going to be her 4th foul, so they have 3 post players with 4 fouls.
Ayuso made so many free throws, important free throws in this game. She misses that one. Aina Ayuso. And gets the second. She's actually she was a teammate of Holishinska last season, averaging 6.3 points per game in this EuroBasket, but she has surpassed that today.
And they won the Copa de Reina, right, together?
Yep, they did.
Yep. Will be Euro Cup next season. You expect a lot out of a team who ends up winning the Euro Cup.
Weisengarova just put up a very difficult shot there.
I don't know why she shot it with her right hand. She went to the middle. She had her left hand. She should have gone up with her left. And now Czechia have already committed 4 fouls, Jeff. And this is concerning if I'm a Czechia basketball fan.
Especially the way that the Spaniards, the Spanish team is shooting free throws.
Yeah, I mean, they're 20 of 22. Can't really shoot that much better from the free throw line.
Ayuso has 13 points today. Who is going to make up for Martine not being in? Well, certainly she has contributed mightily.
Yeah.
Here she is again, gets into the paint, and goes up and is fouled on the play by Weisengarova. She is out of the game. What a sequence. And Chekova's going to come back in for the Czechs.
Weisengarova, you should know you already have. Maybe she didn't hit her, but it doesn't matter. That's the way the game is being called.
Swiping.
Why are you swiping at the ball?
You can't swipe at the ball like that.
She can't shoot over you. You have a height advantage.
And one of the new stars for Spain, Ayuso at the stripe. And makes it. Czechia now really under pressure. Holishinska gets the 3 up and she's fouled, shooting a 3 and falls in. Can you believe it? What comes around goes around. Ayuso hit a 3 like that in the first half, off the front of the rim, and it bounced in. And now Holishinska gets a little bit of love from the basketball gods. A chance for a 4-point play.
Maybe it's a little bit of love from the Greek gods. We are in Greece.
The Greek basketball gods.
Yep.
And then Holishinska misses the free throw, but nevertheless, her team gets the rebound. Oh, that was a dangerous pass, telegraphed.
Good job
and they
there
get
by
away with it.
Hemzova coming towards the ball, or else that was going to be a steal and an easy 2-point bucket. Hemzova's been quiet the last, well, this second half, I guess you could say almost. She does have 18 points.
You know, going back to Ayuso, fantastic that she's getting a chance this summer. It's her first big tournament. And, you know, she was a star with, or a player with the youth teams.
And Holishinska, 22 points. It's already her career high in a Czechia jersey. It was 20.
Here
she
she
scored
is.
previously.
She probes, she gets in, she goes up, she gets blocked this time by Ginzo. Here's Ayuso from deep, and Holishinska with the rebound. Supalova passes it back outside to Holishinska. 6 minutes remaining. Now Hemzova has it. Czechia hands it off to Holešinska. Gets it back to Czechia. She's going to lay it up and in. Great execution by the Czechs.
And they're so worried about Holešinska because she's had a great game that they put 2 defenders to her after that on ball, and just a nice heads up veteran play there. Finds her big rolling and an easy 2-point bucket. Here it is, look, post pair had to come across and switch isn't able to happen, and Coach Mendez is not too happy with his team's defense on that possession.
73-71. I'll tell you what, France blew out Lithuania in the first quarterfinal, but since then, we've been having heart palpitations, haven't we? It's been just amazing
This
action
has been exciting.
from Piraeus.
Absolutely. I mean, right now we're headed, I wouldn't be surprised if we have another overtime game. We had one yesterday in the quarterfinals, Turkey versus Italy. And, well, we can't say much more about what that woman has done here today. 22 points. She's played her last few seasons professionally in Spain, so she knows a lot of these players. She knows how they like to play. And you said maybe it's a little personal. She wants to beat Spain, and well, I'm telling you right now, she has put her team on her back, has a career high, and well, doing it from everywhere. She's doing a good job driving when they're over pressuring her, and had a 4-point play opportunity.
Hamzova also with a career high today.
Yep.
But don't forget, Carrera has been brilliant.
If this game comes down to free throw shooting, I think Spain might tip the chances in that regard.
Ginzo, and flying in for the rebound is Hamzova. Verachkova back in the game as well. Oh, and Verachkova cut to the basket. I guess she faked out her teammate.
Yeah, you should never really fake a back cut, I guess you could say, because that's when miscommunication happens.
Point of Vida. Carrera. Ginzo. Ginzo goes to work, gets down low and scores. Excellent work from Ginzo. We were talking about her before the game. She'll be playing in Hungary, BVTK, EuroLeague Women. Hamzova, and an offensive foul called. Setting a screen. And if that's on Stupalova, here's Hamzova. But the foul is on Stupalova, and that's it. So the veteran has to exit. And Jourlova comes back in.
Yeah, the second post player for Czechia has to go out.
Much now on the shoulders of Czechia. Still in the game,
she only has
22.
2 fouls, so I guess that's a, but look, now you have, look how small they are.
Yeah, they've definitely gotten smaller. Spain, how do they want to attack? Ayuso. They get it down low to Carrera. Carrera misses the shot. And the big guard, Hamzova, comes down with the basketball. We are knotted at 73.
I guess you could put in Pospisilova at the 4 position if you're really worried about some height that you're giving up. The good thing is these Czechia guards do a great job defensive rebounding.
And the drive and the foul puts Czechia on the line. The winner of this game takes on France, who are watching courtside. And the swipe of the ball. And the foul. So it was on Buena Vida. It was not on Ginzo.
And I talked about free throw shooting quickly. 21 of 23 for Spain. Czechia, on the other hand, well, after those 2 makes, their free throw percentage is going up slightly, but they're still only shooting in the 60s. And that's concerning if this game comes down to free throw shooting, in my opinion.
Yeah, Spain's shooting 91%.
Yeah, 68% for Czechia, 15
and also,
to 22.
Both teams over the limit, so free throws will definitely come into it.
Yeah.
Ortiz to Carrera. Carrera with the great move on Chekova and gets a layup. Ties it up. Well, Carrera is just playing an elite game today. 25 points.
25 points off the bench, remember. She didn't start for them, did she?
Zaithamarova now going to the free throw line. Fouled. No, she didn't start.
Yeah.
Zaithamarova fouled by Ortiz. So the pressure now goes to her.
Well, she hasn't shot a lot of free throws. She's 50% heading into this game from the free throw line.
So nothing like taking some pressure free throws at this time, and she misses the first. The Brno guard. Yeah, she was 2 of 4 from the line before today, and she misses both, but Chekova goes up. Hey, you miss free throws, it doesn't matter if you get the offensive rebound.
No, you said it. Offensive rebounding has been the key of the game for this Czechia team.
Outside to Vurlova. It's a great jump stop and then pass. Chekova, and because the ball did not hit the rim, the shot clock
I thought it hit the rim.
Doesn't reset.
I really thought it hit the rim.
Petechkova asking if the ball did hit the rim. She might challenge.
She could use a challenge
to
with
see
that, right?
if they had possession, yeah, which it would be their possession, but
I thought it hit the rim, but you know, there's 3 referees, there's only 2 of us, and they're a lot closer than we are.
Hamashova checks into the game. We're all knotted at 75. Here's Carrera, gets it to Ginzo. She's got the size advantage, and she is fouled. So Ginzo's going to the line.
I'm telling you, we got 3 minutes and 18 seconds. This game might come down to free throws, and that is not Czechia's advantage. Offensive rebounding is those 16 offensive rebounds for Czechia. They did have 9 in the first half, but compared to only 5 for Spain.
Ginzo steps up and misses the first. Wow.
Well, Ginzo has not shot many free throws
Only 2.
either, yep. She's 100% though.
Well, she's 66.6% now. Now 75% in the tournament, 3 of 4. She makes 1 of 2, puts Spain back up. Wahoo cheering from the sideline. Spain leading by a point. Hanishova. Back to Hamzova. Hamzova looks like wants to drive. Here's Holoshinska, guarded by her former teammate. And Holoshinski gets up a tough shot. And Hanishova, and again, great defense by Spain. I think Czechia trying to get something driving to the basket. Holoshinska is going to go out. For how long it remains to be seen, but Chekova checks into the game for the Czechs.
Wouldn't be surprised if it's just a quick substitution to give her a little bit of break so she has the push at the end of the game for this Czechia team. Obviously coming in off the bench.
Can Czechia avoid fouling and putting Spain on the line, because they are definitely attacking. Here's Carrera, bounce pass. Ginzo, guarded by Hanishova. A little fade, beautiful touch from number 20.
Nice patience.
DBTK fans excited about their future player. Here's Hamzova. Drives in outside to Hanishova. She puts it up and misses. And it's Carrera with the rebound. Spain with a chance now to go up by two possessions. And Holoshinska is going to come back into the game. The next dead ball. Carrera drives in, puts it up, and is fouled and earns a trip to the free throw line.
And if you are a Czechia fan, that is not the person you want seeing going to the free throw line. She is 13 of 13 in this game alone, Carrera. And, well, heading into the game, in her previous 3 games, she was shooting 90% as well. So clearly someone who,
large sample
if you're
size.
Spain, you don't want to foul. I mean, if you're Czechia, you do not want to foul.
She is just putting on a clinic at the strike. Wow, 15 of 15. Oleszynska back in, comes up, gets the basketball. She's probably going to want to drive, pick and roll. Doesn't have that option. She gets it back. Here she is going to drive in, takes a tough shot, and she's fouled. So she will go to the line. Well, got to call it the same way at both ends.
Yep. I mean,
she definitely was able to initiate the contact and get the foul called on Carrera.
Especially in that third quarter, though, we saw the same kind of drives by Spanish players, and they got the foul call and went to the free throw line.
Oleszynska takes her time, misses the first. Got a career high 22.
Both coaches with one timeout yet.
Gets
Still
it back to
in
a
this
4-point game. Now, Czechia perhaps putting a little additional pressure here, trying to force a turnover. Ortiz over to Ayuso. Hamzova guarding her. Ayuso dribbles left, gets into the paint, puts it up. Unbelievable finish. How she reached out, kind of protected the basketball. Boy, a star is born today, folks. Ayuso.
6 points a game coming into this game. Someone needed to make up for the scoring deficit of Martine, who's not here. She was scoring just under 10 points a game, and easily Ayuso playing in her first ever women's EuroBasket. Obviously, she was there.
Senior national team tournament.
See, yeah, there you go. First call up, and what an opportunity for some of these young players to play in games like this as well. This is only going to help them for the future.
Well, this is what you're looking for in tournaments. You know, Spain for so long had so many great players. You know, and we saw Laia Palau play seemingly forever. And you know, not that it's intentional, but blocking the path. You know, when you have so many players that go for so long, you don't get a look at some of these other guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, they had point guards who were around for a very long time.
And we're starting to see now that Spain have other players that can get the job done.
Yep.
Stupalova and Ryzengorova already have fouled out of the game. And France, Spain could be on the cards in the semifinals. I don't think the Czechs have played, I don't think they've played too badly, to be honest, but they have had some untimely turnovers and some missed free throws. And those can, you know, some couple of shot clock violations. Ortiz and Ryzengorova, the key players. Ryzengorova, you can see outscoring. I'm not sure Ortiz's scoring was necessarily the key, having watched this. And Hamzova drives in and misses the layup. She got where she wanted to be. Just didn't make the shot.
And you can't foul the Spanish team, especially Carrera.
Ayuso. Ordered by Hamzova. Ayuso into the paint, over the shoulder pass intercepted by Hamzova. Skip pass over to Varachkova. She hands it inside and laying it up and in. Czechova, it's a 4-point game.
They don't need a foul. They need to get another stop, but you don't want to take a risk and foul a very good free throw shooting team, Spain. They shot 81% before heading into this game.
They cut off Ortiz in Spain. They get it to Carrera. She's got nowhere to go. Oh, they've called a foul on the Czechs, a blocking foul. Here is the perhaps the right idea, but maybe not the time to attempt that, and it led to Chechova's bucket. Looked like the Czechs had bodies in the lane there, but they obviously were moving because the foul was called, and Carrera goes back to the line and putting on a performance from the ages at the line. 16 free throws made.
Yep. Absolutely is. Talk about a career high. coming at the best moment for her in her career. She missed last summer's Olympics with an ACL injury.
Puts a different perspective on their performance at the Olympics, having watched her today.
Absolutely.
Holishinska. Holishinska drives in, passes it outside. Varachkova for three. Got it! Gives them a little bit of hope. It's a one-possession game after that, but only 18 seconds remaining. And Spain will try to play keep away.
Yeah.
This is great play by Holishinska to draw the defense and then to pass to the wide-open Varachkova. And a lot can happen in 18 seconds, Sean.
No, there's a lot of time left. What do you do, though, Spain? Coach Mendez takes his last time out because he doesn't want his team to turn the ball over. In the backcourt, obviously, is there you see the top scorers, Carrera, 29 points. And she might not be finished if they have to foul. I think right now, Czechia use a little bit of the clock. They have no more timeouts, even if they do come up with the rebound or if Spain is able to score. I mean, this is a good free throw shooting team. Do you put someone to the line who's young and hasn't been at a EuroBasket before? The one person you cannot foul is Carrera as well. Could it be
Poposi thinking, we better not foul Carrera.
Yeah. Could it be a rematch of many a semifinal and final, Spain-France on Friday? As the French team there watching this game, waiting to find out who they are going to play as they moved on after their win against Lithuania. And there are the numbers for Carrera. Can't be more perfect, really, than what she has done here today.
Arguably her
for
best
Spain.
game for Spain.
Oh, easily.
Well, here she is, and now they're going to have to foul. No, she gets rid of it. Now foul, perhaps.
Yeah.
Nope. They reach in.
I think that's a good foul. I think that's who you want to foul as well.
As good as she's been, I mean, obviously the options aren't great.
I mean, Ayuso is going to go to the line. She's 5 of 6 in this game. I would say go ahead and foul someone who maybe these are the biggest free throws. Well, they for sure are with the senior team. There's no doubt about it.
Well, just an incredible performance from this young woman today, and shows Spain the value of making free throws.
And no timeout.
90%.
Yep.
When you make them at this prolific rate, the way they have, it's awfully difficult to beat a team that can shoot free throws like that. Could advance the ball, couldn't they? If they wanted.
No, there's no timeouts. You have to call a timeout to advance the ball.
That's what I'm talking about.
And yeah, no more timeouts. So substitutions here by both teams, as obviously Czechia want to get their best shooters on the court. Only 28% heading into this game. They don't need a 3 because they're down 2 possessions anyway.
They get it to Holishinska. She's going to get it over to Hamzova, who puts up a 3. Looks for a prayer. Spain rebound. Carrera and is fouled, and Spain are going to win this game. They have survived against a Czechia team that looked primed for victory. And at the end of the day, Carrera having just an awesome game. Probably has put herself on the All-Star 5 just with this effort today.
Oh, easily.
And here she is again. Watch. Do you think she'll miss one now that it's pretty much done and dusted?
No, are you kidding? She's got a career high she wants to keep going after.
18 of 18.
Has to
19
be a
of
record.
19. It really must be.
Yeah.
And that's it. Well, Spain, they have done it. They got championship DNA, and they have proved it once again. Never underestimate this national team.
And don't forget, they were playing without their young superstar point guard, Martin.
88-81, Spain win it over Czechia here in the quarterfinals of the FIBA Women's EuroBasket.
Final score in the game, Spain versus Czechia, Spain 88, Czechia 88.
Shona, I think this says a lot about women's basketball, really. I mean, I think there's a lot more balance, a lot more teams coming up that are in the reckoning now, and I think the Czechs are one of them, but Spain are not going to move aside for anybody.
No, I mean, that's Spain for you. Maybe a lot of people sort of counted them out because they do have so many new faces, but they just believe so much in themselves, and you can see that. And I don't know what Coach Mendes said to them for them to come out and play like that in the third quarter. And, you know, it's a game of runs, basketball, and they kept running. And a much-deserved win by Spain, even when things weren't going well. Czechia, on the other hand, big disappointment. Really, they had a great first half. It's not like they had a bad second half. I think defensively, they made a lot of mistakes. And, you know, they gave way too many points to Spain in the second half. You know, Spain, 28 points, 27 points. Biggest thing is, how can you give up that many free throws? You cannot give up 33 free throws against a good shooting team. They were 30 of 33. That's exceptional, 90%, 91%. It's hard to win a game when a team is scoring 30 points alone just at the three-point line. And there you see the percentages, 16 to 26. Had they made their free throws, and this is the second game you and I can talk about free throw shooting. Well, there are the rebounds. Czechia, an amazing job on the offensive rebounds. I have not seen Spain give up that many offensive rebounds in a very, very long time. Well, Kadeta, career high. Polishenska, career high. Hamzova, career high. Ayuso, career high.
I think the Ayuso 20 is the one that really stands out the most. Yeah. As good as Kadeta is, Ayuso, I mean, some of the shots, that layup that she hit late, and I think was fouled. She fouled by Zingarova. I mean, she was just terrific. Kind of makes you wonder, where's she been all this time? She's awesome. Turin's, the way she started, we were like, well, she's going to carry Spain, but here's the player right here. Yeah, no, it was Chekova that got in there trying to guard her. You know what, I guess the reality, look at that Ayuso layup as well. Czechia already winning the pre-qualifying tournament. They know they will be in the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup qualifying tournaments.
Yep, in March.
And you know, this is something they're going to have to try to build on. It's been a good run. That they will know that they had a chance today potentially to get to the semifinals. This was when Holishevska got hit shooting the three. She made it, went to the line, didn't make the free throw. But here she was handing it off to Chekova. And just think that maybe did they have enough Czechia? I think they did.
I think they did.
They just didn't take advantage.
I think they did. I think, you know, that big run to start the third quarter, and let's not forget, they had two of their centers foul out. That, you know, I think you need to be smarter. The last foul by Rezingrova was uncalled for, in my opinion. She was swiping at the ball. You can't do that if you want to win a game.
So the bracket, you can see Spain have won their way into the semifinals, and they will take on France. One more game to go in the quarterfinals. That'll be Belgium against Germany, and Spain also securing a spot in the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup qualifying tournament.
The game is scheduled to start at 8:30. Make sure to stop by the official FIBA Women's EuroBasket fan shop right here in the venue. Grab your favorite team gears, exclusive merch, and many, many more. Of course, you can visit store.women'seurobasket.basketball.